EFF, viva! Hands off, Commander-in-Chief, hands off! Hands off, Commander-in-Chief, hands off! Long live, Commander-in-Chief, long live! 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 Forward to victory 2016, forward! Saitata, Twane, Saitata! Saitata, Kuruleni, Saitata! Saitata, Johannesburg, Saitata! Saitata, Rustenburg, Saitata! Saitata, Nelson Mandela, Saitata! Amanda! Away, two! Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Commissambu. He said in those. The Commander-in-Chief, the Secretary General of the EFF, the DSG, members of the CCT, we just have to give you an update of what happened since this morning. That when we got to court, the first application was that of the economic freedom fighters. Because we said as an organization, like we said yesterday and throughout this process, that here there is no case about SARS and taxes. Here we are facing a political case of Jacob Zuma who is trying to stop the Commander-in-Chief from being a member of parliament. It's as simple as that. So we said as the EFF, we want to join in defense of the Commander-in-Chief. And at first, what the judge did there was to dismiss the fact that we had to be admitted in court with our own advocates and representatives. And then he later on realized that the dismissal of the EFF's participation was wrong. And then he reviewed that decision and said it is struck off the roll, but we can re-roll it again and be represented as the EFF in defense of the Commander-in-Chief in court. Now the second application was made by the Julius Selo Malema Trust, the trust which was established by the people of South Africa to assist the Commander-in-Chief deal with the issues that relate to SARS. And the application was made that because SARS is saying they are reviewing their decision earlier of the compromise and the agreement which they reached the Commander-in-Chief, the JSM Trust said it wants to be party to the case in order to defend its position and the fact that an agreement money has been paid and all things that related to SARS have been settled. And again, the judge struck that case off the roll to say that it is because of time, it must be re-rolled again. Now, what has been happening for the past 3 hours, the judge has been asking the representatives of SARS a simple question. Why do you want to sequestrate the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF? Why do you want to sequestrate a citizen who potentially can pay tax, who potentially is going to generate income and contribute to the fiscus? Why do you want to sequestrate him? Why can't you use other means to recover tax? Because Section 161 of the Tax Administration Act allows you to engage in other forms of inquiry to achieve exactly the same purposes. And throughout the period, there is a useless lawyer of SARS there. He couldn't answer a single question there. In possibly 20 different forms, the judge asked the same question: why are you rushing for the Insolvency Act instead of the Tax Administration Act? Because as tax administrators, as a tax collector, we are supposed to apply all means possible to exhaust all the clauses of the Tax Administration Act to get money which you are looking for. But the lawyers of SARS could not answer that. And the reason why they cannot answer that is because they're not in pursuit of tax collection. They're in pursuit of a political program. What is happening there is pure politics, and they can't even explain why they're in pursuit of such. Because they want to sequestrate the commander-in-chief, because when a person is sequestrated, it means you can't be a member of parliament. It means you cannot enter into any contract. You cannot sign anything. So you can see that SARS has got a simple mandate to try and sequestrate the commander-in-chief of the economic freedom fighters. But I want to assure you, comrades, that the commander-in-chief will never be sequestrated. Even on legal basis, it does not make sense. Even on legal basis, on basic logic, it does not make sense. Because SARS comes there to say they suspect that between last year, 26 May, and today, the commander-in-chief could have gained additional assets. The judge says, where is the evidence? SARS does not have the evidence. That is what we're dealing with there, of people who have been deployed by politicians to drive a political agenda. That is why we must stand firm and defend our commander-in-chief and president of the EFF and say, hands off, commander-in-chief, hands off! Hands off, commander-in-chief, hands off! Hands off, commander-in-chief, hands off! Pansi, Zuma, Pansi! Trunk 2, Zuma, trunk 2! The person who deserves to go to jail and be arrested for theft of money is Jacob Zuma. A person who deserves to be sequestrated is Jacob Zuma, not the commander-in-chief of the EFF. Amanda! Commander-in-chief, over to you. Amanda!